Who is the most powerful person in the world?
Most powerful person in the world is a storyteller, just said by the most powerful person in the world, which we know as Steve Jobs. Initially when Steve Jobs introduced iPhone for the first time, he has used the secret ingredient of storytelling. So what is the storytelling? Storytelling is not that complex things. Storytelling is simply telling stories to your audiences. So it is not that complex. So in this video, we're going to see that 3 ingredients, 3 secret formulas that people use for effective storytelling. And what are the 3 steps that you can use for the effective storytelling? So let's go into it. You may have seen people telling that the story has 3 parts, which is starting of the video, then middle of the video, and the ending of the video. But these 3 things might not help you to create an effective story. So what are the 3 things that you can use? Well, which is introduced by the many storytelling consultant also, which is first is a novel, second is an explosion, and third is a new novel. These 3 ingredients makes your story be effective. Well, let's see what exactly these things are. The novel is something when we set the scene, when we tell our audiences that what is going on in the life of the characters and what is exactly going in the story. Or if we consider it in the business perspective, it is like when we tell our audiences that what exactly the problem they are going through. Your customers, that what the situations and what are the issues they have in their life at this moment. What are the problems they need to solve. So we show the normal life of the characters that is going on. So what Steve did in the first stage of the novel, Steve has introduced and told the all audiences that how smartphones are not that smart. How we are all like let down by the promise of smartphones. So this is a normally introduced everyone about how smartphones are. What is the situation? When then comes the second stage, which is explosion. Explosion, we can say it is a distraction to the normal things. So it is something that we want to change. It is a stage where we tell our audiences that what are the things, this is my product, this is my service, and how the service can change the situations and can solve the problem we are facing at this moment. It is normally known as a transformation stage. So what Steve did here, Steve has done it very, very, insightfully. So he said that I came up with a product which is really beautiful and really, really smart, which we call as an iPhone. Well, these iPhone will make your communication way better than before. It is going to change the way you communicate, and it is also going to change the way you surf on the internet. It is like, desktop in your pockets. So this is how he introduced his iPhone, which came in the explosion stage of the storyteller. So this is 2 things. First is a normal, second is an explosion, and third be known as a new normal. So you may have understood of what new normal is. New normal is something that what happens into your customer's life after having your product, after the transformation has happened, and after the explosion has done. So new normal is a new life of the customers, new life of your audiences. You have to tell that, okay, this customers, this audience has used this product, he has this problem, he's used this product, and now his life is now such a stressless life with no issues. Life with all issues, all the problems has been solved. This is to show within the 3rd stage of storytelling, which we know as new normal. If you use these 3 secret ingredients, no one can stop you from convincing your audiences that how your product and service is so powerful. So this is what is the 3 secret ingredients. So let's see what are these 3 steps of effective storytelling. The first is to define the purpose. When many people think that I have to tell this message, these things out of one story, no, your story is not going to be effective that way. So one message, one story. So this is the first step. Second is to define the right type of story. But there are different types of stories. There are personal stories, there are educational stories, there are motivational stories, the stories that gives the values to the audiences, different kinds of stories. So here we have to define the right type of the story depending on the purpose of the video we have. So once you define the type of the story you have to do, then we have to define what is a call to action, which is a third step of effective storytelling. Write down the call to actions. Well, I have seen many people. Let's say that you have a story, you've done your story to the audiences, and audience got inspired. They came across that, okay, this is the right products, and yes, the story is so inspiring and motivational. And at the end of the video, you're not telling them what to do after this. It's a total waste of your story. So you have to define the call to action for your story. Whether it's comment, whether it's message, go to the website and then call, anything like that. Just define the call to action at the end of the story. So these 3 steps helps for effective storytelling. These 3 steps seem simple, but so effective. So this were about storytelling. Don't forget the secret formula by Steve. Use it and grow yourself.